Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us at All Systems Go. My name is Sean. I am the GM, and today we are playing Foxfire. Blades in the Dark is the system. And my three lovely players tonight are Abby, Logan, and Sarah. And we had just finished a score last time and done our downtime for everyone. So now they have successfully reverse exterminated and planted bugs in a train station. They're going to start getting new job offers about everybody who wants to introduce more bugs into their life. But I think as a little bit of downtime, important sort of thing to make note of is now the Foghounds hate you even more, and you officially have -3 reputation score with them, which means you are at war. And so,
they think they can beat us.
yeah,
We're
they're kind
the
of stretched
PCs.
thin.
Is this why the faction sheet was on crew mode? Did you adjust it? You
I was
did.
messing with stuff. Yes. No, I like to peek and set things up. So y'all are at war, which means mechanically that you have +1 heat from any score that you do. You have -1 hold, which is the weaker strong that you get related to your tier. And I think y'all were tier 1 strong, so now you're tier 1 weak, technically. And you only get 1 downtime activity for free. All of which is simulating the idea that you are being hounded by the Foghounds at every step. So I think kind of what happens is maybe y'all have a day or two to yourselves, and you start to notice, like, maybe Sylph, you're out and about in, what is it, Charter Hall, kind of at the universities, and you mixing with the crowds and like learning about the students and kind of the class schedules, and you start to get this feeling that you're being watched, and you realize that 2 sort of heavy set thugs have been keeping an eye on you from a distance for a while now. And
this is Echo.
Oh, did I say Sylph?
You did. In
I
fact.
did. Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Yes,
why am I
Echo.
there? But okay.
You do as I say.
How can they see through my impenetrable disguise? That's fine.
Well, I'll
assume they did.
You're not always in disguise. So
no, I'm not.
So they're trailing Echo, and I think they're not really doing anything, but you feel like you can tell you don't want to do everything you would normally do because you know someone's watching. And the other 2 of y'all also realize sort of the same thing, that eyes have been watching you, sort of bad luck has been happening. Your kind of regular activities aren't as easy to complete as they usually are. And then I think, Logan, you mentioned that you would like Duchess to come back into the situation. So I think Duchess, of course, has been conducting herself with her usual aplomb and sort of grace, and has dazzled the inmates and the guards of the prison. And she gets off a little early for good behavior, and maybe a little greasing of palms here and there, a couple favors traded for next time around, because she has a feeling that she'll be back. She sees an opportunity and knows how to seize one.
Quite rather like this place. It's so homey if you look at it the right way.
And it could be so much more homey. Really, truly a home away from home.
There's such a need for you there.
So desired. True. They need a woman of your grace and stature to truly elevate it. But she's released with little fanfare, other than the guards telling you not to get in trouble again. Maybe a little rough handling. Gerund is kind of disappointed, but he has no real sort of legs to stand on with trying to keep you in there longer at the moment, though he's been doing his darndest. I think he's he's moved on to the second clock, correct? He's
Yes, it's currently empty, but he is investigating my husband's death.
He's officially investigating. So, as Duchess does more potentially nefarious things, it will take up. So, Jaren is, of course, suspicious, as always, but cannot take any legal action against you again. And you return to Foxfire, and Vinny goes on vacation.
I think that Vinny doesn't like the whole foghounds putting more pressure on him, so he goes sort of underground and just like slips away for the time being.
Maybe it's a little too much heat for the moment. So yeah, he extricates himself from the situation, having potentially helped out the foghounds before. Maybe they've used his services every now and then. He doesn't want to insult a client. Money is money. And connections are connections, either way. Okay, so Vinny kind of takes his leave, and we have the original girl gang back in action.
OG crew.
The OG crew. And let's see. So Sylph.
Yeah.
This one I'm talking to the right person this time.
Okay, great.
Sylph. Let's say
okay, if this helps or hurts, I don't know. I wanted to make sure to note that I visited Rain during downtime.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because you were like, you haven't seen her.
You haven't seen her. Okay, did you want to... What did you do with Rain? Did you
I
say
just
hello?
visited her, yeah.
Just visited
Went to a
her?
performance, like, hung out with her after if she wanted.
Maybe got a drink?
Yeah. You know,
okay.
Just, you know.
Just schmoozed and boozed.
Play it by ear.
Play it by ear. Rain seems as affectionate as always. Playing up the performance attitude, she's kind of like, you know, it's always so good to see you. I'm glad you're still doing fine. You seem more confident lately. Like, you haven't been hiding your face as much as you normally do, which I like. And kind of maybe, like, caresses your scales a little bit. And y'all just kind of talk and chat. And
I love that face still.
and
I just liked Logan's disgust.
Logan's disgust is always amusing. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
We are pro Rain and Sylph. We need a ship name for them. We'll come up with one. And the sirens seem to be doing okay. They are also kind of at war with the foghounds, so it's not full up as one might expect, and there's definitely heavier security, but they're still trying to carry on as normal.
Yep.
I think y'all kind of give
I have a question. Is Rain Tycherousi?
No.
No?
No, she's not Tycherousi.
Is it? Okay. Interesting.
Why did you think that?
Because she has weird singing powers, so I figured maybe...
This has weird singing powers. No one's investigated that, so you don't know anything about
part of
it.
the siren?
Yeah, she's one of the founding members. Rain is a founding member.
She's probably the one that it got named after.
Who's that other person that you know? Is there another one?
Yeah, well,
the Tycherousi
Rosalind
lady
is a
Rosalind.
Tycherousi noble.
Sylph is the
Unrelated
playa
completely.
of the group.
They've just sort of like become one in my mind.
They're
not the same at all.
They're maybe not exactly in conflict, but they're not friends. They don't really know of each other.
Good. Let's have it stay that way.
We'll see if that stays that way or not. Yeah, so you don't know why she has her special powers. What was I thinking? No one's investigated it. She's not Tycherousi. She looks just kind of generically Doskvolian. She's very beautiful. I think we've established like really kind of girly, cutesy. But she's, other than that, she doesn't have any crazy sort of characteristics that set her apart with strange singing.
Cool.
I think y'all would give maybe your bugs like a little test run just to see how they're doing. Oh, and I was also thinking, the informants thing is kind of supposed to be a little more general, maybe than just like we only get information from the train station and its comings and goings. So I assume also that like kind of using the information from the bugs, you've kind of maybe blackmailed and supplanted some people, and you've gotten a couple extra informants who you either turned some foghounds or you kind of ran them out. And so now you also sort of have a limited street network of informants that also kind of go throughout the city and mostly kind of in the night market and
For sure, the southern gentleman at the train station has been turned.
For sure. If you would like.
I insist.
She insists. You have decided to sort of supplement his pay. Giles, was that his name?
I just made it up. I don't know if we gave him a
That's
name.
someone else. I think that's already been taken.
Oh.
There can be more than one Giles.
I guess there could be, but now that makes my life even harder.
I'm just
again.
surprised how often Giles comes up as a name.
I don't know, maybe not. I can't remember. Okay, so y'all have kind of spread your information network out and about, and using the bugs that you've planted, you actually hear a interesting little tidbit of information. I imagine kind of in your downtime when you don't have anything to do, maybe you just have it playing in the background, flipping between the bugs to see if anything comes up. And you hear a meeting between the overseer and from the overseer's office with what you can only assume is the overseer and two spirit wardens. And it's kind of garbled and muffled. That wasn't one of your best placed bugs. But you kind of get...
I tried my best.
It's still there, so you still got it. And they're kind of talking about the recent sort of kerfuffle and the fact that it seems like two different spirits were summoned within the rail station, which has never happened before, probably in 100 years.
Hey, I'm just making history. So.
And the spirit wardens, you kind of get the sense spirit wardens are like, this never happened, we have special protections in place, and the overseer is like, I can't even imagine what would have happened if the two of y'all hadn't been there. I demand that you investigate, and the wardens are like, we're already investigating, like this should never have happened in the first place, and suggest something deeply concerning. So you know that the spirit wardens are keenly interested in what just went on at the rail station. Yeah, Sylph is deeply concerning. And actually, I have a question for Sylph.
Oh.
Do you think that the spirit wardens mark you somehow when you join their ranks? Like you receive their sort of outfit, but no one is supposed to leave the spirit wardens. So I was thinking maybe do they kind of create a way to bind you to the spirit wardens, you think? Otherwise, why doesn't everyone just leave? Why don't more people just
Maybe
leave?
the benefits are really good.
The benefits are really good.
I mean, that sounds interesting. But I also think nobody in the spirit wardens knows like that real identity of anybody else, because you're not supposed to know like in day-to-day life.
Right, they are anonymous. But you have to think like someone must have tried to escape before. So like what?
Is it like you're held captive if you try to escape the spirit? Like are you arrested and
Oh, I think you're probably killed.
Oh, okay, great.
Because they have secret information that is incredibly valuable.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so what I was thinking is they do have the special masks that you receive, and they tie you to the spirit bell that tolls when someone dies and summons sort of the crow. And so I think that it actually also places a sort of bind on you that no one really knows about unless you're in the spirit wardens, and it's rarely ever used. But it is a way that they sort of keep track of their own in case anything happens. And so far, they've never used it to try and find you, so because they weren't worried. But when you are out and about, maybe when you're on your way back from visiting Rain. You've just had a good time talking to her. You're high on good spirits and pretty ladies. And you're walking back and you feel a cold sort of force just grip your body. And it fills you immediately with a sense of dread. And you can't even, like, you stop moving for a second and you realize that someone is trying to find you and they're using this spirit warden connection.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you're... How about roll an attune for me?
Okay. Just as fortune dice?
Yeah, just as fortune is fine.
Ooh, not
right.
very good.
So your soul
Poppy's back in action.
She's too tipsy on love.
Squeezed out of your body. No, something more unsettling occurs. You're a woman who dabbles frequently in both the physical and the spiritual, and you know how to attune to the field easily. And what happens is something that can only be described as sort of like a horrific attempt at rending. And you feel your spirit attempting to be pulled literally out of your body. And this, like, grotesque pain racks through you, and you fall to the ground, and people kind of back away and gasp, and most of them don't do anything because there's also sort of a strange energy surrounding you. But you can feel like you start to go cold, and it feels, as far as you can tell, as if your kind of consciousness and life force is being pulled out of you. And then sort of a comforting darkness pulls you back.
Thank you.
And the tethers of he who walks in darkness sort of envelop you, and you still go numb, but this time it is not from pain and cold, but from just a sort of emptiness that swallows you. And you hear a whisper in the back of your mind that just says, "There's more work to be done." And so far you are tethered back to your body. But you know this deep in your soul. If you do not find a way to break your connection with the spirit wardens, you will die.
Okay, great.
Somewhere in the town, Duchess is frowning heavily.
And you have a sense that this is urgent.
Yeah. Okay.
And everyone else is just fine. Everyone else, I mean, you've been evading, you're growing maybe a little tired of having to evade the Foghound's attempts to sort of interfere with your lives, but you've not had quite such a harrowing experience affect you yet.
Yet. Keyword.
I still have that demon out there waiting for me.
He's waiting.
That's right.
And there is a demon waiting in the wings for whenever I need him. Or her, or them. So, all are free to collect information on whatever you'd like. You could try and save your beloved gang member from death by soul rending.
So you tell us this. So
yeah, I'll tell you that.
Like...
But do I know? Is there? You said it's tied to like some soul bell or something.
So how about you roll a? What should you roll? Let's see. I want to say like a study. How into the spirit wardens do you think you were when you were first like learning? Like, do you think you were committed at the beginning and then you fell out, or like you were always okay? Then I don't think you really know. Like, this was always kind of against your choice. So the best you can guess is that it's probably tied to your mask. Because that is, the spirit wardens tell you that, this mask is what lets us hear the bells and lets us know, that someone has died and our duty, we need to perform our duty. But other than that, you're not sure. And you've never heard anything about this sort of hold that seemed to have taken over you.
Okay. Great. So yeah, I'm gonna approach you guys when we're like hanging out in the 7th tower. I'm gonna bring my mask up. We need to destroy this. So I need your help.
Oh, have you finally come around?
Yep, sure. That sounds good.
Let's
Do you
blow
just
it out
tell
of
them that you
cannon.
need to destroy
Please
it,
help.
or
It's rending my soul.
And we're like, what? Wait, hold on. Back up.
If you need something destroyed, Vinny just left, so...
No, I think this needs more than just explosives. Probably.
Somewhere in the town, Vinny is frowning.
magical explosives? Yeah, you're pretty sure mundane means of destroying it might work, but you don't really know. You
need to take it to Mount Doom and throw it in the fire.
Throw it in the fire, shield. So okay, hold on. What? How?
Echo, it's
how does
rending my soul?
I get?
But what
that.
is
I
it?
don't. But what is this? You were a spirit warden.
This is my mask.
Okay, great.
And I mean, my family kind of just sent me here and told me to be a spirit warden, but it was lame, so I left. But I think they are not happy about that or something.
I didn't know you could leave the spirit wardens.
Yeah, this explains more.
You know for a fact that you cannot leave the spirit wardens, and the fact that Sylph did it at all is somewhat surprising and impressive.
Making history.
It's probably been done before, but no one's lived to tell the tale, or no one has told the tale to begin with. Sylph's starting to understand why.
I have no idea how this works exactly, but you know who would?
Who?
Somebody on the party barge.
Party barge?
If they're using this to track you, do you really want to lead them to your party barge?
No, he who walks in darkness protected me from this little rending, so I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
You guys can come to the party barge. We can figure it out together.
I have
Duchess,
an appointment. My parole meeting is in 5 minutes.
We're like, that's okay. With the women, what's
the Dimmer Sisters.
The Dimmer Sisters.
Oh, they don't like us though.
But
no.
I think we could use them.
They don't have anything
It would be
against you.
so fun.
Yeah.
I would say, like, you could do research into potentially trying to find, like, what the ritual they were trying to do on Sylph. You could, find help, get help from someone. You could just try and do some gathering information.
Duchess, she's like, wait, I knew when I first met you something like this would come up, so I've had a plan in the works for a while. And she goes up to her little cove, and she comes back down and rolls out a file cabinet of papers, and she's like, no, and she goes all the way down to Z, X, A, 5 alphabets down, pulls out one.
Z.1 alpha
she
A.
rolls it out. She's like, yes, so still possessed by some weird spirit and soul rending. Yes, here we go. She's like, what if we don't get rid of that magic? Because it sounds quite useful. Rending a soul. What if we transferred it onto Big Bitch Pirate Bitch and just
oh my god,
killed her?
That would be cool.
2 eels with 1 electroplasm.
The infamous Doskvol insane.
Yes.
Do you know how to do that?
I have no idea how to do that. I'm just the ideas woman.
Because I think of us 3, I probably know how to do that the best, and I don't know how to do that.
But what if...
That does sound very hard.
What if there's
the voice of God says very challenging, but very fun.
The voice of God says...
There are those 2 freaky sisters, or maybe there's 3 or 4 of them.
Oh yeah, the Dimmer Sisters.
Yes, the Dimmer Sisters. What if we employed their awful talents?
What have you met them before? Do you know them? Because I think the most that
I've heard
we've
of that.
interacted with them is that we stole Mercury, what's his face, off of them.
Quicksilver.
Oh, you
Yep.
stole somebody.
Oh, yes, you were in
Duchess was in
jail.
Duchess is like, what were you doing while I was gone?
So a Tycherousi noble got kidnapped, I guess, by Quicksilver. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's pretty infamous, and we went and we knocked him out and brought him back. So he was working with them for sure. They were gonna sacrifice this guy, I guess, a blood ritual. I don't know.
Huh. Did you capture Quicksilver?
Yes.
Did you turn him into the guards
Yes.
or whatever? Okay, I think that just like describes him perfectly, and it was like he arrived in jail when I was there.
He did not arrive in jail.
He's
He's
supposed to arrive in
probably
jail.
in like max security prison.
You don't know what happened with him, but I promise you he is not in jail. He's not in Doskvol's jail.
Oh, he dead.
Yes, he did. He at the bottom of an eel farm. Echo's like, well, okay, so we know the sirens are up to some weird spirit business with all
Seems
of...
like
I mean,
everyone
that's
is
true.
these
The
days.
voice is pretty like freaky deaky, so maybe she'll
freaky
know.
deaky, spirit bottles, special spirit bottles.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Good job, Echo. Let's go ask them. And then we can go party.
And then a party. Ask questions first, party second.
Ask questions at the party, too.
Okay.
Okay,
What are we
so,
asking?
Yeah, sounds like you want to go to the sirens first, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk
and
to the
gather
voice
information.
specifically.
Okay, yeah. So, I need someone to roll a fortune die.
I'll do it. Ugh! 3.
They're bad rolls. Okay, so as you all are sort of exiting your tower stealthily and making your way back into the sort of regular streets of the city, away from your hideout, you are making your way towards Night Market through the deserted areas of the Six Towers, and suddenly you see 4 figures sort of kind of come out of the alleyways in front of you, and they're sort of shrouded in darkness, and one of them yells at you and says, he's got like a sort of like a cudgel basically, and he points it at you and says, "We've got some kind regards from the Foghounds." And then he just yells, "Get 'em, boys." How do you respond? What would you like to do to not get beat to death?
Let's beat him to death.
I say, no, I only get shot.
No cudgels.
Not this
Darling,
time.
I
Yes.
only respond to gunfire. I think Echo is gonna be like taking out her jingle jangly purse, flush with all that cash that she is now, and she's gonna like toss it up in the air, and it's gonna make, it might not have a lot of money in it, but it's gonna sound impressive. And she's gonna just kind of like cock her hand on her hip, and be like, "You boys look mighty overworked. They really didn't send enough of you to make this job worth it. I think, we can all make it safer and worth your while to, go to leave us alone, or like to pretend like you never saw us."
Okay, so I'll let you either sway and then lose a coin, or you can roll your standard of living. Was it standard? I forget what that means.
Yeah. It's... Well, I'll just roll mine and see.
It's
what
like your
called.
income.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Standard of living, I think.
My
is a different
lifestyle
game.
is bad, guys. Just
Your lifestyle is so bad.
I don't think
I don't have
Echoes
enough-
is that much better yet.
No, I
so
don't
that's
have
why
enough.
probably we
Lifestyle.
have loads
If
of
you
money. So just
roll lifestyle, then you wouldn't have to spend a coin, because I'm assuming, the assumption is your lifestyle allows you to just be able to
Mhm.
afford to do something like this. But Sway,
also
you're gonna have to back it up with money.
If this goes poorly, I still have a smoke bomb we can use. They didn't confiscate it in jail.
You hit it before you were
I
taken
want to
at the
do the
opera.
sway thing, but for some reason my character sheet is showing the crew sheet instead.
Oh, top right, if you hit crew mode,
Yeah.
it'll take you to character mode.
I might have accidentally done that when I was messing with that.
Character mode, okay. I was like, what did I do wrong? Okay, so I'm gonna go.
The boys have
sway.
faltered momentarily while you talk to them. The leader's still pointing at you, but the others are a little confused that you're attempting to talk to them. They're not the brightest.
Risky stand, or I guess it doesn't matter. We're not really.
Yeah.
It
I would
probably
say
does matter.
you're risky. Actually, I think you're desperate, Stan.
Desperate, a desperate role, Sean. That sounds great.
The sad
Just
thing is that
handing
they're
them
looking
out.
forward to desperate roles these days. I'm just waiting to see how many 6s pop up in this game.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun.
It's a 6.
I didn't even use that other roll.
This is why I made sure there was a consequence not related to the dice, meaning she has to lose a coin. Because I knew a 6 was going to pop up.
That's fine. I'll lose
All
a
right.
coin.
So you successfully sway these now
Hoodlums.
much more refined gentlemen hoodlums, gentle hoodlums. They kind of,
And I think she like winks and is like, if you guys have any problems, just come see us at like this location and we'll hire you. We're always looking for a few good men.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
And
okay.
we pay
Okay.
even better than those.
Yeah, I'll
discounts.
give you, write down in your character sheet like a +1, this will be your greater effect, +1 die to roll to acquire a gang of toughs, a Doskvolian gang of toughs.
Okay.
Because you'll be able to call on these guys who you just paid off. So you lost your coin though, and they kind of look between each other and are like, well, we aren't really getting paid that much to beat them up, and money's money, you know? And like, yeah, those bog hounds have bad benefits. They don't even give us dental.
You should join the Spirit Wardens.
Great benefits.
Great
You
benefits
can
for
never
life.
leave, but they've got
No
great
retirement plan,
benefits.
No retirement. That's a great benefit.
The retirement plan is death.
Soul rendering, actually.
Soul rending, yeah, exactly. So you successfully evade the Foghound's attempts to rough you up, and
And I'm like, drinks are on you guys.
make your way, maybe a little more carefully the rest of the way
Stealthy.
to Muse. But you don't run into any other trouble, but you make sure to avoid some of the main streets and kind of are quick to peek around the corner before you just head on your merry way. Arriving at Muse, everything seems fine. They've got the same old bouncers, extra bouncers that they've had lately. Rain sees you, Sylph, and she's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you so soon, Sylph, but it's quite nice to see your face again.
Oh, yeah. We're here on business, unfortunately.
Oh, she pouts a little bit.
I mean,
and,
no, it's for the best. I will die
Mars
if we're
kind
not.
of leans over the bar a little bit, and her ears have perked up when you said business. She's like, business? I mean, we could probably find something for you, but I thought y'all just finished something up.
I need counsel with the voice, please. Thank you.
She kind of eyes you and says, counsel
It's
with
urgent.
the voice.
My life literally depends on it.
Oh. Well, and then Amaris kind of looks at Rain for a second and is like, before looking back, and is like, that, I mean, the voice isn't usually, you don't just, not everyone just gets to talk to the voice, but you're sure this is a desperate situation?
Desperate Limited.
Desperate Limited.
Oh, yes. Okay, right away. I'll go. Y'all are in a lot of trouble. And Rain kind of gives a pleading look to Mars and is like, come on, Mars, please. They've helped us so much. I'm sure the voice will be able to help And Amaris waffles a little bit before she says, "Fine, okay, I'll see what I can do. Y'all just hold tight, get yourself a drink, and I'll be back in a little bit."
Thank you, you're the best.
At this point, I have my own bottle of eel's breath behind the bar, and
she just lets you behind the bar now.
I just go and get what I want.
Pretty much, just on the house. She trusts you, and you don't usually make too big of a mess. Okay, and so I think y'all kind of sit and maybe chat a little tensely now, as Rain sort of just dotes on Sylph. And Amaris comes back just a little bit later, bursting through it. She says, "Okay, it's a little short notice, but the voice has decided that she can see you."
I feel honored. Thank you.
And I'm like, "Come on, Duchess! It's
all of y'all know the way."
Wait, Duchess has never met the voice.
No.
Oh,
Duchess hasn't met the voice.
Duchess refused.
I slide a whiskey to her, and I'm like, "Drink up."
Takes out her own whole bottle.
Amaris, yeah. So Amaris leads you back through a couple serpentine passageways until you come to one final door that she opens up, and you see, of course, the same sort of ornate oak table, or it's like a very beautiful sort of large gathering table, and
pillow
you
pile.
See pillow pile. The voice, otherwise known as pillow pile. You see a figure shrouded in a large amount of gauzy material that seems to almost be weightless and flowing on its own accord, but the figure underneath the sort of cloth is indistinguishable.
While we're here, can I do a quick little, secret attune to see if she's a ghost or similar?
Yeah, pull out a spirit bottle.
No, I'm not gonna trap her.
If you want to do it in a
I've
tune,
been wanting
fine.
to do this since we met her.
There are consequences to actions, though, so there are always consequences. This may be free play, but it's still
okay. Wait, I'll hold on.
Talk first, and then
talk first, then a two.
Okay. Okay. So the three of you enter, take some seats. Amaris is still standing, and the voice kind of looks you over before, the face, kind of looks at all three of you before zoning in on Sylph, and you both hear and feel kind of the voice of this figure enter your consciousness.
The moment it makes a sound, that just takes another shot.
The first word. And so, looking directly at Sylph, the voice says, "Ah, your soul is in grave danger."
Yes.
What have you done?
So I'll just reach back to where I packed up my mask, and I'll just toss it in front of her.
The voice, this is normally completely expressionless, but you pull out this Spirit Warden mask, and the figure does shrink back a little bit, kind of just sits more tallly in the chair and pulls its kind of being back. And it says a little louder and more angrily, "A spirit mask? What is an ex-warden doing here? There are no such things as ex-wardens. What have you done?"
And we're all looking at her and we're like, "We don't know." Yeah, what happened?
What have you done, sir?
Really? I mean, nobody said it was a thing that I couldn't leave. I just left.
It's a cult. Don't you know you don't leave?
Okay. The voice sort of says, "I can tell that the only thing holding your soul to your body is the power of another force."
Yeah, he's great. Have you? Can I recommend you to Party Barge?
I am aware of the power of he who walks in darkness.
We are not missionaries in this moment.
She's evangelizing.
He saved my life.
It seems that the spirit wardens are trying to call back what is theirs. They have lain claim to your very soul when you joined their order.
With all due respect.
Let the pillows talk.
I realize what I've done. I just need to fix it. And I thought you, with all of your great knowledge and power and
pillows,
down company.
I won't say anything else. Would be able to help me.
The voice says, "This is a high request. The spirit wardens are not easily defied. But there are maybe a few solutions to this problem. The mask has already laid claim to you. Destroying it is useless.
Oh, okay.
The wardens already have a tether to your soul, from what I can tell. And you can see the other two of you aren't very... Do y'all have any attune?
Mm-mm, neither of them.
Neither of you have any attune. Okay, so you have no idea what's happening. But, Sylph, you can tell that the voice is basically attuned to the field and has been sort of probing almost like your energy and kind of the life force around you, in the field around you. And it says, since the wardens already have a tether and a sort of chain, shall we say, or a shackle, your options are to break this shackle, create some sort of defense, maybe against whatever this soul ritual they're performing is, or since he who walks in darkness has already saved you from the first effects, perhaps he could save you from more if you devote yourself to him more fully. But, and this Echo seems like the voice seems like an otherworldly force, but she is sort of like, he who walks in darkness may be helping you now, but a force of that caliber can never fully be trusted. Perhaps the last option, though, is the wardens will try to pull on this chain again. It is possible you could interrupt it and then stop them from being able to interfere with you again.
Would it be possible to put it onto another being? You know, you said it's
My
tethered to
thoughts
her. What if we
My thoughts exactly.
tether it to another?
Anything is possible, dear Duchess. The powers you are meddling with are great, so the more complicated your answer to this question is, the more difficult and the more it will take from you.
Oh, voice. Can I wear this mask? Is it safe for me to wear this mask?
Yes, the mask is perfunctory for the most part. It laid its claim when it was worn for the very first time. Actually,
perfect. Are you sure?
That doesn't sound right. Do you want to take another guess?
Are you sure?
I'm gonna retcon that. Yeah, no, that's not right. The voice says the mask will not lay claim to another, but it is keyed only to Sylph's sort of life force. If someone else were to don it, you would suffer immense pain. That's
wonderful.
And
right.
that's sort of how
let's
the wardens keep people from just stealing masks,
that makes sense.
acquiring masks, and just using them however they see fit. So the masks are highly magical and arcane artifacts that really no one knows anything about other than the wardens.
Yeah. Very secretive.
Unless you do some serious research.
She said the options were finding a way to protect myself.
Protect yourself. Break the chain.
Break the chain or he who walks in darkness.
He who walks in darkness could offer you more shielding, or find a way to, when the spirit wardens try to pull on your soul next, interfere, and it could mess with the ritual enough.
Very potentially messy, so I choose not that.
It is.
Is it? So, you said, is it tethered to her body or to her spirit?
It is tethered to her spirit specifically, but to remove her spirit from her body would be tantamount to death. You know that when spirits are removed from bodies, they become. I think the game calls them hulls, which are basically just mindless zombies that can be controlled by others. So, and there's a very little research into putting a soul back into a body.
But we could put it into a Sparkcraft machine.
Could.
No.
Good. I forget what those are called too. Some.
I'm sure my mother has lots of research that we would find very interesting.
Hulls are animated spark crafts. It's hollows. Hollows are the zombies.
Hollows.
Dim-witted and easily controlled.
Yes.
And the voice kind of looks at you and says, "It is your choice to make. The sirens may be able to offer you some help, or there are many other sort of connected folks in this city who could provide aid. You have a whole party barge."
Have a whole party barge. And Arden.
Arden! Arden's a good boy.
Arden is a good boy.
Yeah.
He's such a good boy. We love him so much. Arden.
Such a sweet little zealot.
Cultist.
So full of fervor.
I think if you're gonna ask anything else, you can take some time to think.
That's cool. I will. Yeah, I'll take some time to think. Thank you for your help. I really appreciate the late notice meeting.
He says, "You're welcome. The sirens appreciate all that Foxfire has done for us. And I hope I see you again, Sylph."
The feeling is mutual.
Don't hold your breath, probably. Do you have a breath?
I'm just gonna smash Duchess.
Has Duchess actually been saying these things?
Probably.
Under
Almost
her breath.
certainly. She's 5 shots of whiskey in already.
Yeah, she is. How drunk is Duchess at this point?
Okay, I'm gonna need you to either roll Prowl or Fate die.
Prowl or Fate die? How many Fate die?
Just
one. So if I roll Prowl, it can have consequences.
Both will have consequences.
Okay, this is the.
I think they're both one, aren't they?
They're both one, but can I count
so
one as a desperate roll?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
Just roll a die.
Number of dice. 1. 1.
Oh. Okay, you mutter that last piece, and none of the, neither Sylph nor Echo hear this, and the voice turns to look at Duchess, and only you hear this, and it says, "You are a marked one, Duchess. Your time will come. Leave things that you don't understand to your betters. Now get out of my sight." And you feel yourself basically compelled to stand up and leave.
I've wanted to do that this whole time.
All right.
So cool. I love the sirens so much.
Oh, I love the sirens.
So
Y'all haven't
cool.
even scratched the surface.
I'm gonna leave Foxfire and join them instead.
Echo's like, well, that was fun.
Informative for sure.
Okay. Now, what would you like to do? Kind of have a heist in the making.
I'm gonna take both Echo and Duchess's hands. Be like, we're gonna go somewhere.
Starts dragging them against their
And
will.
we're like, where are we going?
You're gonna love it.
Party barge, isn't it? Echo's like, if I have to.
Duchess,
Do I get to ride a gondola? Do I get to drive the gondola?
Sure. Yeah, I'll find a gondola. Like, get in this gondola. We will take it.
I feel more secure on the water.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever you need.
Valid. Though not necessarily true.
And we will roll this gondola right up to the back entrance of the party barge.
Alright, so if you arrive at the party barge, it looks the same as always. Have we ever described what the party barge looks like from the outside?
I think it's like
dark it's sort of
and dank. And
yeah,
is it like a haunted barge?
It's like a haunted
floating
barge.
platform of I think like wreckage and sort of driftwood, like that's
like
built up
dark
on itself
curtains
enough.
And yeah.
And you can see like vague structures have been constructed, and yeah, like I imagine dark, like almost black purple curtains kind of are drawn across all sorts of surfaces. And there's just tiny little hints of light kind of poking through every now and then.
Maybe the light, like
phosphorescent
they put,
mushrooms.
Yeah, or they light candles and they'll put like tinted glass over it, so it's like purpley.
Oh yes, like the pathways are lined with sort of tinted candlelight. Oh, love it.
Love it.
Party barge just gets better and better.
Party barge, the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I feel like Echo is like knocking on like the structural integrity of this barge, and she's like, "This doesn't look very seaworthy. I don't
seems
understand."
Very unsafe, and it's constantly like puddles of water do seem to just kind of flow and ebb from different areas, and it rocks ever so slightly. But it's been here, and you know that definitely Slyph has been coming.
I have spent
enough.
a lot of time on this barge, so if it fails now, I'll be shocked.
Okay, well, I'm just glad I brought my gondola in case.
All right, so what is Slyph trying to get out of this?
Now, Echo.
I know, but I can run and jump to it. And just throw Duchess into the gondola. Throw you to the gondola. Run.
I'm gonna see if Arana is around.
Okay, yeah. So, you kind of walk in through the entrance you normally use, and are both of your followers willing? Are they actually following? Is Duchess and Echo?
Duchess, are you staying in the gondola?
No. Oh wait, lowest dice. Yes.
Yeah, 3. You're coming with us. Yeah,
all right.
Echo's just like, I need to know what this is about, this barge business, so I'll come. I'm a people person. I want to suss this.
As much as Duchess hates this, it is quite interesting.
It is
really a lot of very good, unique information. Yeah. So you never know.
Wasn't there somebody I was supposed to like turn? Oh, this is perfect.
Your ghost lady.
Supposed to
it
report
is
on you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
okay.
And can we like see who else is on the party barge, or is like everyone disguised?
A lot of them are shrouded. I mean,
they've definitely all got cultist robes on.
You might be able to make a survey or a study to find out people, but I mean, it depends. Are you trying to find like
Arana probably is not like is dressed.
Arana's never shrouded.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very open.
She's like the front woman. She's one of the few easily and often recognizable people.
Okay.
But it seems like she basically lives on this barge, so
yeah.
You don't really want to mess with Arana. You get the feeling that it would end very poorly for you. Okay, so you enter, and with your two friends in tow, maybe friends is a strong word at the moment, and you see sort of Arana kneeling before a shrine to sort of the forgotten god.
Mm-hmm.
And inside is much like the outside. It is sort of an oddly and irregularly shaped room made out of cast off wood and detritus, and it is also sort of swathed in really dark purple, blue cloth, gray, as well as more candles, tinted candles, kind of fill the area. So you can just barely see, but there's a lot of flickering shadows, and there's also maybe one or two other people who seem to be praying at more shrines, as well as you can see there's corridors that lead deeper somewhere, and then there's also seems to be stuff that leads down, which does not make sense for a barge. And yeah, you walk in, I think, and Aranis kind of finishes up her prayer before she turns to you with a faint look of surprise. And I think we said she has like she has like kind of short cropped hair. I'm imagining like a very pale, like titanium blonde on top of, she has very pale skin as well. And she, looking at y'all, she says, "Ah, so you have arrived again and brought others to meet our great lord. I see that his touch is upon you quite strongly right now. What are these friends you have brought us for?"
This is Duchess and Echo.
Pleasure to meet you.
She nods. Like, she seems very nice. She's smiling kind of pleasantly and faintly and nods at you. My name is Aranis.
Arana the Blessed.
Arana. I think she's a little humble, so she doesn't really.
Okay.
Unless Sylph, do you think Sylph maybe?
Yeah, I'll chime in. I'm like, she's the blessed.
Yeah, and Arana
she's
kind of
the blessed.
Laughs a little, and she's like, "Well, I do try to keep a humble profile. Maybe not low, but you maybe have heard of her.
Much the same.
Like, of sort of the higher level, like, heretical cultists, she's one whose voice you've heard whispered out throughout the city. And so she says, I help to take care of the I help to take care of the worshippers as well as this sacred site.
Yeah.
For he who walks in darkness.
I would love to know more about your operation.
Arana, before you help them, I would love for them.
Arana was about to go into the whole spiel. She was going to recruit you. She kind of turns back and she says, And you can tell once again that she's also seeming like she seems to have some sort of knowledge. She's also sort of probing the ghost field around you, but in a different way than the voice was. And I think you've been attuning a lot recently, and you can tell that there's sort of like everyone has a signature way that they sort of interact with the field. And so hers is much different from how the voice was doing it. And Arana turns to you and she says, Yes, there's something most troubling. I received a vision from the Lord, and he has saved you, but you are in great trouble.
Can we get a private room, please?
She kind of turns and looks, and she seems a little like...
Duchess and I are like...
We're all friends here, but
you just see Duchess like
gripping
a spoon and
would make
behind
you
her back.
feel more comfortable.
It definitely would. You'll see why.
I will bring you to my private worship chambers. And she sort of leads the way back, nodding greetings to different cultists that you see.
Hey, Arden, what's going on?
Maybe, yeah, you see Arden. He's kind of to himself, muttering and touching sort of an artifact that he has around his neck, and seems to be almost like a rosary style, like saying a prayer while going through it. And he nods a greeting before continuing on his path. And for both Echo and Duchess, this walk to her chambers makes no sense whatsoever and should not be possible based on the size of this barge by any means. And yet somehow you've gone down 3 different passageways and through 2 different doors that you have no idea what's going on anymore. Sort of physical space makes absolutely no sense at the moment. Neither Arana nor Slyph are bothered by this in the slightest. Eventually you do arrive to a sort of sparse room which just has a single sort of, or a couple cushions, and then a very elaborate shrine with a sort of statue in the center and more candles and so on and so forth.
Is this him? And she points to the cushions.
No, we just talked to the voice.
Arana just kind of smiles
it's a private
and says, in a way, yes. He is everywhere, dear.
This is true, yeah.
Duchess. He's within you at all times. He's next to you, and he's with us all. Please, take a seat.
That is so comforting.
I agree. I think we'll be seeing you much sooner here than you think.
Not if I'm just really good at hiding in darkness.
You're not.
Oh, no one hides from he who walks in darkness.
No, I just meant you.
And she just kind of smiles even more at that. Okay, so you sit down,
yes.
And she says, please, explain. I do not have all the information.
Okay, I do basically what I did with the voice. Like, I'll take out my mask and I'll be like, so I have a problem because I left, and apparently you're not supposed to do that.
And Arana's just kind of lost in thought throughout all of this.
Yeah, but do you know anything about the Wardens? There have got to be people that have come through like me, I would think.
She nods.
Consult the bones.
Consult the shadows. She says, yes, there have been others who have left before, but very few make it far at all. I'm actually very impressed, Slyph, that they have not tried to call on you before. I think, what do you want from her?
I'm gonna present her with the breaking the bond option and see if she knows how to do that.
Okay, to sever the ties?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she says, do you tell her that you met with the voice?
No.
Okay. So she, gives you the little spiel again, like, oh, you're shackled.
No.
Okay. You seem to be shackled, blah, blah, blah. She says, we know of a ritual that can break connections, so it is possible it will work for this as well. Unfortunately, the Spirit Warden's magic is enigmatic, to say the least. It is of a tradition that almost no one knows. My best guess would be that the ritual I am thinking of could work, but it is always a risk. He who walks in darkness, you could also try a ritual to strengthen your bond and create maybe a permanent shroud over your soul.
Echo's like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yes. Make sure you get a contract this time with an exit date as well.
Yeah.
Are the benefits good?
The benefits, my dear, are fantastic.
I'm sure.
And then she also says, like, yeah, so she thinks...
Is there something for the ritual that she can think of that we could get to make, like, strengthen it?
All right, yeah. I think, she says, either way, you'll need to perform a ritual. I'm willing to help you with this, as long as, we go through the powers of he who walks in darkness. Is that amenable to you?
Of course.
Right. And she says, which would you prefer? We can attempt to break this bond. The sort of consequences of failure are unknown to me, though I assume they will not be pleasant. And I think there is a way to empower it. Or we can create a shroud over your soul through his power. They're the same. I'm thinking of an artifact specifically that will be able to empower either ritual. One is safer but less permanent. The other will rid you forever, but I do not know what the consequence of failure will be.
You could die, or worse.
Worse, lose your connection to he who walks in darkness.
You could become a hoe.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Miss Blessed, was it?
Please, I just go by
Arana.
Mm-hmm.
We had briefly talked about weaponizing this power. Is that something that you are familiar with?
She says, no.
Yeah.
The powers, she goes, the powers of he who walks in darkness are related to knowledge and to that of hidden things. The idea of directly causing harm or doing something like that is outside of his usual purview. I believe
I did not know
it
that
is
was one
up
of his
the
tenets.
alley of perhaps the Dimmer sisters, if you were so inclined to attempt something like that. But they are of a capricious and untrustworthy nature.
But oh so fun.
He who walks in darkness does not meddle in the simple affairs.
Duchess, let's not meddle in the simple affairs of my life, okay?
The factions.
You have meddled quite enough in your own
Doskvol.
life.
Alright, what artifact? Where is it? Do you know, or do you just know of it?
Okay, so we'll take a quick break because I think I have
Yes.
to construct a ritual for this,
great.
which I do not have prepared ahead of time. And we will figure out what is required to save poor Sylph's soul. Through the power of he who walks.
Through the power of my lord.
Praise be.
We will
The
be right
darkness.
back. We're back.
Hello. Thanks for sticking with us in the downtime. We've quickly refreshed ourselves on the rules of rituals. And
Three of us were having a conversation and Sean was flipping.
Sean was doing all the hard work, so it's
Sean
fine.
did all the work, and we talked about grocery stores.
And then I got to flip the table on them, and they're just gonna love what I come up with, I'm sure. Okay, so Arana converses with the three of you, and kind of more specifically Sylph, and she outlines this ritual vaguely. She will be the one to actually perform the ritual. She'll call upon the power of he who walks in darkness, and in return, you will... She puts it nicely, but you basically have a life debt to Arana until you find a way to pay it off, potentially. And by
fine.
extension, he who walks in darkness, which you kind of already have.
Yeah, that's
She says
chill.
lifetime debt?
No, life
Get that
debt.
in writing.
Life debt. Not
She's not
lifetime.
really... She's not worried about the particulars because she knows he who walks in darkness will enforce it for her. And she trusts Sylph will not back away from her favorite patron. The only thing she says, I don't think you've decided what you want to do quite yet.
Well, I think that Sylph is avoiding that decision.
Okay.
Arana was like, this artifact can empower either of them, so whatever. And Sylph is like, okay, but that artifact, like, can you give us some more information?
Yeah, she picks up on this, and okay, so she does. She mentions an artifact. And she says there is a artifact specifically for the power of He Who Walks in Darkness called the Obsidian Star, and it is a
Obsidian Star?
Star, yes. So, and it is a small sort of, well, not too small, but not huge, sort of a large amulet, more or less, that is a holy relic of the power of He Who Walks in Darkness, that emits a constant sort of shroud of darkness around it, seemingly kind of sucking up light in a short area around it. She believes that this artifact should A, be returned to its rightful owners, those who worship He Who Walks in Darkness, as well as B, it will be in a way an offering to him and a way to deepen your connection with him.
Yeah. Will it be consumed?
No, it won't be consumed. Ooh. No. But it will become under the purview of Arana, basically. Okay. And
who has it now?
She says there is only one small problem, and this is perhaps why we have not already tried to acquire it ourselves. I have beseeched He Who Walks in Darkness to help me find it, but he has been oddly reticent, maybe, telling me to bide my time. And maybe he's always correct, but maybe the time is now. You see, there's a gentleman in the city who's a collector of many strange and arcane things. And unfortunately, he has far more power than I would care for.
Is Lord Skurlock?
Yes, Lord Skurlock is, I think, his name at the moment. He is in possession currently.
Okay, it was good knowing yourself.
But it is not his rightful place to have it. It is ours.
Yeah.
And I
you tell him.
charge you with this duty, Sylph, to acquire it and bring it back to where it rightfully belongs. And I will free you of your curse, one way or another. We can attempt it without it, but I fear much more is left up to chance.
Okay.
And then she says, if you get this artifact, she'll work on gathering all the other resources she needs. But that's kind of the big clincher, unless y'all want to do something else instead.
I mean, no problem. We can just rob Lord Skurlock.
I think once she kind of finishes telling you that, you feel like a tug on your soul.
Oh, great, yeah.
And He Who Walks in Darkness is still like keeping a firm hold on you, and it doesn't go anywhere, but like you can tell that force is building to pull you back again. Yeah. And I want you to start at 8 o'clock. That says
8.
Soul ripped. Soul rent.
Soul destroyed.
No, just call it rent asunder. Let's be dramatic.
Rended.
Soul rent. All right. And you can tell that there is a ticking clock on how long you have before all of this starts to go very, very bad. And Arana herself also, her like eyes kind of widen, and she says, "We must be quick. Make your decision."
I can start making the arrangements.
No, we're not having a funeral.
For the heist. Okay.
I'll bury you at sea, don't worry.
That's not what I want.
It'll be
She's
beautiful.
too young to die.
She's too young to die. Just leave
What
me,
if you just go back to the spirit wardens?
I don't think that solves anything.
They'll just accept her with open arms.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Do I know anything about Lord Skirlock?
Is he not the
roll a
Jeff Bezos of Doskvol?
fortune die. Quite. He's more. I can't think of a good analogy quickly.
Oh.
No. All you know is that he's got a lot of money. He's been around for a long time, and he does collect strange things. He's also very standoffish. He doesn't really interact with the other nobles. They don't interact
He
with
was
him.
at that party, right?
He was at that party. He was trying to get that one statue.
Yeah.
And he just was never like in your circle, and you knew there was no point in like trying to get him in, because it just never works.
He was trying to get the statue that we stole, which
That
was
you fucked up.
a drop that the wraiths were sending to him.
Yes.
So maybe the wraiths. Nope. Maybe the hive can help us.
Maybe.
Because that if we start messing with Lord Skirlock, then that fucks with the wraiths.
I mean, if we go to the hive and are like, yeah, so we're this petty little gang, but we have big problems and we need you to solve them.
No. We'll be
and
like,
definitely we're not
no.
expendable and
We're not.
replaceable.
No, we're not asking them. We're not asking them to like support us. We're just
telling them to.
No. We could be like, we're going to take this from him. Maybe we take something else for them in exchange for information, because they probably have information on him.
That could work. Do you remember how we
Because we
how to
are
meet with them?
expendable to them, right? So if they get something from us, then great. If not, then no harm done.
Do we know how to meet them, or do they only contact us?
Yes.
Largely, they've contacted you, but you think, Duchess, that if need be, you could get in contact with Kalir again, who was the gentleman that originally talked to you. You can talk to Kalir.
Does
It would
Lord
be
Scarlac
intentional.
have any connection to the university that I work at now?
No. He's incredibly antisocial. So, do you want to do some gather information? Do you want to talk to the contacts? Okay, who wants to do what?
Let's see. Between you and I, Echo, who should talk to Kalir, and who should do something else to try and get information socially?
Guys, I have one in sway.
I also have one in sway.
I will go.
I can negotiate with. If he's extremely antisocial, that gives me limited ways of like interacting with like him or his household. So maybe it's better.
What if, so one of us could talk to Kalir, and one of us could go to the auction house and either like try and gather information there, or pretend to be somebody that works with him to see like maybe he has regular appearances, or like so we know when he's not going to be home.
How did the auction house thing go down?
Poorly. I got traumatized.
So, Lord Skirlock was attempting to purchase an artifact, which had been put there, which had been secured by the wraiths, and was meant to reach him.
Yes.
You interfered with that on the behest of the Hive. Yeah, I meant you as in Foxfire.
Yes.
on the behest of the Hive in order to weaken the relationship between Skurlock and
Right.
the
How
Wraiths.
did we... I can't remember if we decided... If we
We
stole
got
the
away with it pretty
statue...
clean.
Oh, we made a duplicate and we replaced it.
You made a duplicate, and I think you put an insignia of the Hive in the duplicate
Yeah, we did.
so that Skurlock and the Wraiths know that the Hive
Yeah, we did.
was involved with messing with them. So currently, they're probably all not very happy with each other.
Wonderful.
I think this Hive idea sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. I'm happy to go wherever you think we need the most, like, convincing.
Ooh, I know where we need to go.
Where do we
La
need to
Opera!
go? La Opera!
I need to spend a coin to do downtime to get rid of stress so that I don't become immediately traumatized
Yeah,
on the
that's
first
cool.
roll.
Oh, that's right. You haven't had any. You haven't had any.
And then
downtime.
we can gather information.
Oh, shoot, yeah, I
Post
forgot.
prison.
How much stress do you have?
Oh.
I have 2 left.
I mean, could you say that you've reduced some stress?
I'll
from
let you
being in prison?
reduce
There was a musicale that you organized.
by the
in
amount you
prison.
have by half.
Rounding up or down?
Down.
Rounding the remainder down, or okay? do I
Meaning
have
the
three-
lower amount of stress.
You should have
Like for
4
lower-
left, right? Because you had 7.
Yeah, well, I'm still gonna indulge.
Don't overindulge, because then you'll be out again.
It's literally impossible.
Oh, okay.
5. I will reduce that down by 1 to 4 and clear it all.
That is a great power.
It's so great. I'm ready to go. Prison had a spa, and I'm just.
You're
Well,
glowing,
ready.
darling.
Oh, that's the whiskey.
It's just the little whiskey sweats. All right. Okay.
Ugh.
So what are we doing, guys? You need to gather information to somehow find this obsidian star.
Okay, I
What
feel
if
like
we group action so we can synchronize?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
group
Let's
action
all
what?
go see the Hive.
Yeah, we're a
Group
team.
action sway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Let's
do it. Okay. Am I leading that group action?
I mean, probably. Well, no, Duchess probably takes the least stress. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So you should lead it.
Don't one of you have something where if you lead an action you get a benefit, or was that?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, I can lead this then.
Cool.
Okay. So you get in contact with Kalir, and he.
Yes.
I think it's less getting in contact, and like y'all are on a pretty tight time limit, so you immediately just like try and head to his office where he kind of works out of in Charter Hall, and the 3 of you roll
Oh, because the
up.
Hive's not like an underground organization, right?
They're
they have an
perfectly out in the
office.
open. They are in a huge net. They are a network of all like merchants. They're a merchant
Got it.
network. They do under like nefarious stuff on the side, but on the front they are also just an incredibly successful and wealthy network of merchants.
Got it. Okay, we'll go
So,
to his office building.
Kalir does do other stuff than try to bully you around a little bit. And so you arrive at his office and talk to he has a little secretary, and they confer your message, and Kalir is willing to meet, actually. Not too busy. And so you come into his office, and he says, well, what a surprise. All 3 of Foxfire have come to visit little old me. So what do I owe the pleasure?
Okay, we are on a limited time, Kalir. It is a pleasure to see you as always. So one of us, not to be named, is about to die. And we need to rob Lord Skurlock in order to prevent that from happening. I know what you're thinking. Lord Skurlock, unrobbable. Well, about to change your mind, let me tell you. So we know what we need to rob, but we were wondering if you needed anything to be robbed. Maybe like a 2-for-1 deal in exchange. You give us some insider information. We know you aren't a fan of the man after that last heist we pulled for you.
Okay, yeah. Let me...
And we're both like, yeah!
Yeah! That's how it is.
Also, I feel like this will be consort, not sway. Because we're trying to gain access to resources and information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably consort.
Well, I got less than that, so...
Yeah, me too, but it should be fine.
Real quick.
We don't need more die. We're gonna roll just fine.
Also, is this a gather information?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if it is or not, actually. I'm trying to think of how likely he is to help you.
Also, Kalir, we heard you have a package arriving in town. It would be a shame if
it went missing.
Something
Are you now
happened to
extorting him? Be careful with that line.
Or we could make your deliveries through this train station so much more smooth.
He says, yes, there are artifacts we would like to acquire from Lord Skurlock, as well as he is not our favorite person in the city. But this is something of a tall order for such a newly established gang. If any of this were to come back to us, Lord Skurlock is not an open enemy we would like to make. So I will need you to roll something to convince Kalir that you are worthy of trying to actually do this.
So
we could sway with charm and logic.
Okay, what do you guys have in sway?
1.
And what do you have? 3? Okay, I think sway is technically better then by 1 die.
Well, both of us have 0 in command.
Not command.
Well, you wouldn't
consort.
Both
I
of us.
1 in consort.
I have 0 in consort.
Okay, we're swaying
you
him.
Don't. Okay, you sway. Someone who needs. Oh well, all 3 of you need a roll if you're doing it.
Yeah.
Is it a
group action?
Do we get like a position, or is this?
Yes, you do
Yeah,
actually. Your position is going to be, I think, just controlled standard.
I think that makes sense.
Should I push it?
No.
Okay. You just can't let me have any fun, Abby. I just want to sacrifice you.
Devil's bargain.
Standard.
Controlled standard.
Controlled standard. Because Kalir is on your side. He's not really.
Just like, darling, don't you know that we're...
And Duchess, you're leading this, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Wow.
good. That's
That
good.
was the wrong roll. I rolled consort.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, I mean, is it the same amount?
No.
Darn.
Oh my gosh.
I got 1.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Come on, group.
Get a 6. Oh, no.
Dang it.
We still got a 6.
So close.
Okay, so
I take 1 stress.
1 stress for that failure, and Kalir.
I think Sylph, you try and start talking, and I have to like make you stop, and I like trip over my
I
words.
start talking, and then like the soul rend starts happening more. Oh god!
Oh, she's catching a cold. Ignore that.
She's just like hacking.
Coughs up electroplasm. Oh, it's nothing.
A little bit of blood comes out. It's fine. Okay, Kalir agrees with. He agrees. He has a little bit of trepidation, but he's like, you have proven yourself fairly successful recently. Let's see if you can beat your latest.
We're good in a tight spot when there's no reason why we should succeed.
We have been on a roll lately of 6s.
Just don't involve goats and we'll be fine.
That's in our.
Right.
It's in a contract. It's at the bottom. You'll notice. It's been added recently. No goats.
No goats.
Wouldn't dream of it. He says, okay, the Hive will help you in this endeavor, but you better succeed or the consequences will be dire.
Oh, we know.
She can't tattle on you because she'll be dead. So
whatever else.
You only have to worry about the two of us.
So he describes another sort of artifact that is in Lord Skurlock's collection. This one seems to be these sort of shattered pieces of an old crown that was used by an ancient kind of king a long time ago, before the emperor and before even the world was shattered. And he says it is maybe a bit of an odd thing to request, but it has been much on the Hive's mind. It is something of intense historical and really immeasurable value, actually, and it would be much safer in our care, we believe.
Yes, we all must do our duty to preserve artifacts and historic value.
And who knows what Lord Skurlock's doing? I think he's a creep. And so he tells you that they would like you to acquire this artifact as well while you're there, and that he does know of a sort of secret entrance that Lord Skurlock uses. There's a hidden entrance to his sort of manor within the city that they've seen like comings and goings from while they've been trying to watch him, but they're not sure exactly how to like open it. It seems to just open and close on its own. I don't know what. You need a key.
And he is seeing himself coming and going from it, or is it his like people?
No, the network of the Hive. Like,
no, Skurlock. Is that what we're talking?
Yeah, it's used by Lord Skurlock.
Only him.
as like a no, not only him.
Okay.
Like for different dealings, they've seen people coming and going from Lord Skurlock's manor this way, seemingly with like clandestine sort of.
But it's not like it only opens for him.
For Skurlock, no,
Okay.
It doesn't seem to only open for Skurlock.
Is it by a water source?
I'm gonna roll a d6.
Let's see. I think it should. Come on, dice, be on my side. Guys, you just gotta tell the dice what to do.
Gotta be firm. It is by a waterway. And actually, this entryway opens up almost directly to a small little docking area that can be used for various things.
Is he a noble? Like, does he have an estate like with people that work there, or is he just like some crotchety old man that lives in a house by himself?
He is a noble.
Hence the Lord.
It's the Lord. He does have an estate with people.
Okay, I just want to know if it'd be possible for me to use one of my contacts that's a servant to like get maybe some gossip from one of his servants about something, like an event that's coming up, like he's going to be gone, or like they're preparing to have people over.
They never have people over. I see that. He does attend events. Roll. Okay.
Maybe consort gather information.
Yeah.
Sarah has I don't know if this will change the role, but I have an idea to add. We could fake an event to draw him out. It doesn't have to be a real event.
Do we have that idol still? Or did we give it to somebody?
We definitely gave it to the Hive.
We could be like, new auction for this thing.
That would not go well.
That would not go
well. Let's see. So you want to see if he's like leaving for something in the near future?
Yeah, or if he has like he goes to the auctions like every Tuesday at noon or something like that.
Yeah, okay. Sure. So roll consort to see I actually think it might be like a tier thing for your connection, because I'm not sure if she's good enough to get in.
You don't think Jenna is all that great?
I mean, I think Jenna is lovely, but Lord Skurlock is a very demanding man.
But it is a gather information.
Yes.
So do I get a +1 from informants?
Oh god, I forgot I don't have those. Yes.
This is 2 dice. 5.
Okay, 5. Okay, so he does seem to leave on a regular schedule. Where, they don't know. But he's in the manor usually about 5 to 6 days a week, and then he's always gone at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Abby, tick 2 on the clock.
No.
What else should we do? I feel like we should just keep gathering information, like just really prepare heavily.
I don't want it.
So
do we know when they tell us that, are they like the day that he's gonna be gone is like tomorrow or something like that?
Yeah, they tell you a specific day where they're pretty sure he's gonna be gone.
Is it soon?
With his following schedule. It's soon enough. Yeah, it's like the next day.
Okay, good.
Or, yeah, it's the next day. But the whole process of getting what's her name to find this out took kind of a long time.
Yeah. Can I go see Rosalind?
Sure.
I don't.
You never not see Rosalind.
Rosalind, if I don't come back, it's because...
Literally, I don't think I want information from her. Because I don't think, is she... maybe I'll ask her about Lord Skurlock. But I don't think she knows about him. Like, I'm not expecting information from her.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to ask her about Lord Skurlock?
Yeah.
Okay, so she greets you, teases you a little bit, and then she says, well, Lord Skurlock's just a huge bore, really. He's old-fashioned, to say the least, and he's entrenched in this city. But there does seem to be something special about him, should we say. He has influence beyond what you would expect for any regular noble, and he has historic ties to almost every part of this city. He's not a force to be messed with, if that's what you're thinking.
Well, I don't really have a choice, Rosalind, because otherwise I'm gonna die. So
she looks a little concerned at that. And
yeah, I mean, you should be. I mean, you know about my past. Let's just say it's come back to bite me in the soul. I have to do this. So I just wanted to visit you and tell you, if I don't come back, don't come looking for me, because my soul has been ripped out of my body horrifically.
She kind of is wide-eyed, and then she grabs you by the front of your shirt, brings you close, and says, you better come back, or so help me, I'll find your spirit, and I'll bring it back to myself. And she kisses you fiercely.
Oh, so romantic.
Take 7 ticks on your clock.
Sylph has the best love life.
Yeah.
She's been actively pursuing it.
She has been.
She has 2 of them.
We've
She's
had
got
bigger
2.
We've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, so she doesn't really have anything else to add. I mean, he attends certain really important state functions every now and then. The Tycherousi steer clear of him.
Yeah.
It's weird. They seem to get...
Is he... What nationality
they get an
is he?
odd
What's his
vibe.
heritage?
Oh, he's Doskvol.
He's just been here forever.
Akarosi.
Akarosi, whatever.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, that all I wanted to do was visit her for the potentially last time.
Okay. That is fine.
You know.
Did y'all want to gather any other information? Try to gather any other information?
I mean, I do want to scope out this entrance and see. I mean, I want to just check. My gather information question will be, what's the best way in? But I don't, whatever it would be to check that. Like, if I can, I'll attune and see if it's like attunement stuff that lets people in and for the door, or if it's...
That is up to you. What kind of action do you want to take? I think they'll tell you different information on what's the best way in.
I feel like that could almost just be the engagement roll.
But that does sound a lot like the engagement.
We need a way in before we know...
I mean, you kind of have a way in. You're just first the obstacle is going to be this
we just need the entry point.
If you do really good with the door, like if you do really good on the engagement roll, you'll probably already be past the door. But if you do bad, then you're going to hit roadblocks with that door.
Okay, instead then I will go around and see if, like, just investigate to see if there's trolls or, like...
You just want to, like, investigate his estate?
Yeah, check it out. I'll just prowl around, scope it out, see what's going on.
Okay, yeah. So, what would you like to roll?
Prowl.
Prowl. Okay, so if you roll prowl, I'm going to assume you get pretty close and, like, in and around the grounds.
Yes.
And stuff. Okay, so that's going to put you at risky standard. For your...
Is rolling for... Yeah, sure. Can I swap position for effect, please?
Sure. Desperate Raider?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
And I get...
How are you making it more desperate?
I mean...
She's moving really quickly because she doesn't have a lot of time.
Being less careful than normal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure.
Desperate, great. And I get to add 1 to my roll because it's a desperate action and I have Daredevil. So here we go. 5.
All right. So you do go on this sort of quick jaunt through his backyard and prowl around with your cloak. And you see that there's a lot going on. There are some kind of generic patrols. He has blue coats that sort of patrol the outside of the up to his estate, and then on the inside he seems to have sort of a personal set of guards that wear different sort of livery and seem to be independent from the blue coats. As well as you can see, there are just general sort of like grounds people who are managing things and servants, and there also are a lot of hollows that work under him.
Oh, that's gross.
Fun.
They're used by the nobility, so they're not. It's not unheard of.
That's gross.
Actually. Yeah. It is gross, but
we just came from a trash
uncommon.
pile where you talked to a shadow, and you're calling this gross?
Yes.
So let's see.
Steal one of them uniforms, girl.
You also you are able to actually kind of sneak into some of the hallways, and you notice that there are a couple mechanical hulls that seem to be on the grounds as well. And you're pretty sure there's going to be some... I mean, security is just pretty tight in general, so you're sure there are both physical and spiritual defenses of various kinds.
Great.
Okay. I think y'all are pretty much ready to dive in.
Something like that. I'm going heavy load.
Oh. I'll go normal.
Oh.
I guess
Maybe
What's your
light.
point? What's
This
your
doesn't seem
score
that
gonna be?
urgent.
Our point of entry is stealth entry point, right? We're just going in this.
Yeah, our entry point is that tunnel by
Yep.
the water
Yep.
via gondola, I
Yep.
assume.
Yep.
So we'll do a stealth mission.
And we're timing it for when he is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Probably pretty quick after he would leave.
Yeah.
So we have time.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you can get it while he's gone. No one really knows when he leaves exactly.
No one knows when he leaves?
Yeah.
I mean, we
Okay.
can watch the house until he leaves. Because he
That is
uses
true.
that secret door, right?
He does not use that secret door.
Uses another secret door.
No one has seen him leave through that door. Other people have been seen coming and going from that secret door.
Okay, well that's fine.
Do our underground maps and passages have stuff like under his house that he probably leaves from?
There is some information underneath his house, but it's surprisingly sparse.
Okay.
Okay, so you are stealthing in from there. Everyone's got their loadout, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Echo, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna do normal because I'm probably gonna disguise myself as a blue coat since I usually have. I still have the old blue coat jacket that from the early days, and I feel like you can rationalize a blue coat being kitted out a little more.
Okay. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes.
Hashtag
Always.
yes.
Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target? Yes. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight into this operation?
I mean, the hive.
The hive did, yeah.
The hive did. Yeah, I'll give you 1 for that.
What are the penalties, though?
Yeah, you'll get a -1 for tier.
Is it just minus how much higher they are, or is it just -1
and
if
we
they
get
are
1
higher?
to start, so yeah, we're at 3.
No, it just says maybe a higher tier target will give you -1.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
He's technically 2 tiers ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
No big deal.
No big deal.
We got this.
Yeah, I think that's good.
3 is good.
3 is good. That's more than you've had in a long time.
Yeah.
We used a lot of resources to get to here.
Who wants to roll it?
Someone gets to roll it.
Sarah, she always
Right.
rolls 6s. But now that I've said it,
I have to go to the crew sheet.
And you also have to yell at roll 20.
Okay.
you have to yell at roll 20. You have to be thinking about how upset it'll make Sean.
Okay. I live for that. Roll engagement. 3 dice, we said.
3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on, big money. Let's go.
6!
Oh, we
A
already
1,
got
2,
it.
and a
We're on
6.
the way out.
Okay.
My luck is great.
All right.
Beautiful jingle.
I think the way this works is that you are planning to slip in just real fast behind someone else. So y'all have kind of staked it out for the last couple hours, just been watching to see if anyone's coming and going. And finally you see someone who looks like they're going to try and enter through that tunnel. And just kind of creeping up behind them, they do something to get the sort of, it looks like a stone wall, basically, like a flat stone wall, and then something happens and basically a door kind of just like recesses and slides
Weird.
out.
And
So
we just like ninja roll in.
before they can they start walking in, and then y'all just kind of sneak on right behind them, and then Sylph just knocks them out real fast, right before they can turn around and try and close the door and see y'all or anything. And now you are in the tunnel leading into Lord Skurlock's manor.
Nice.
Does that person have a uniform?
Um.
Can we divest them of that?
Yes. Yes,
And
they
put
look
someone in
like
it?
they just have a servant's uniform on.
I was thinking the personal guard. You know, that personal guard.
No, they have a servant's uniform on. Okay, and let's take a quick break before we dive in to the rest of this feast. Thank you,
Be back.
everyone. All right, we're back. Thanks so much for staying with us. And our intrepid trio has just rolled another 6.
Love you, Sean.
And I am completely at their mercy now. They've rolled a 6 on their sort of, well, great. Now I can't think of what it's called.
Engagement
roll.
It was so traumatizing, I blocked it out. They rolled 6 on their engagement roll. They've made it through the gate, and now...
Can that just make us a tier higher? Can we just be like...
You are a tier 1 against a tier 3 enemy. And I think it's easy enough to follow this tunnel. And soon enough, you arrive kind of to a short staircase that leads up to a locked... Well, yeah, a locked door. And this is, which you can only assume leads into the manor pub.
Boy, howdy, let me take a look at this locked door.
Good thing we have an expert locksmith.
Take a look at this locked door.
I did level up finesse, so don't you worry.
Seems pretty basic. It's nothing crazy on this one.
Okay.
Just a simple precaution.
Pick it with my fine lock picks.
Okay. You are controlled standard.
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
You gotta yell at you. Roll 20.
Finesse. Controlled standard. Go, roll 20. 4 is a success.
Okay, yes. So you fiddle with the lock a little bit, and you're like, this is surprisingly easy for Lord Skurlock. And it doesn't take too long before you hear the telltale click of the lock unlocking. And you quickly sort of turn the knob and open up into the mansion. Which you can see this hallway, it's kind of a side hallway, so it's not as richly decorated as maybe the small areas that you saw still when you were first prowling around. And it looks unassuming enough. It kind of has 2 ends that lead deeper into the mansion. And unfortunately, I think y'all have no idea where any of these artifacts are at the moment. And I think, though, once you step foot inside, you feel sort of a crackling in the ghost field. And it feels a strange sort of sensation.
Nobody else.
Nobody else. We have no attunement. We're like,
well, anyone can attune, so y'all still feel it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not as precisely, but you can feel there's some sort of energy building in the area.
Can I tell what it is?
Your best guess is that it's some sort of ghost, some sort of specter.
Oh, okay.
Is gathering energy.
Should I summon it and tell it to fuck off?
Yeah, I haven't seen you summon any spirits, but that doesn't seem to have caused any trouble recently. So
no trouble at all. Only my impending doom.
I don't think you'll be able to summon it. Like, you aren't the originating summoner, so I don't think your compel is going to be able to work in the same way. I mean,
but you could still talk to it and ask.
You could
it if
try. You can try, or you can do
I
something
can
else.
force a nearby ghost to appear before me and obey an order I give it. I can, and it says I'm not supernaturally terrified by a ghost you summon or attempt to compel, which means that they're separate.
Yeah, so compel.
That is what or means.
Compel and yeah.
Compelling and summoning are different.
But does that terrify
you're
us?
Not. Oh yes.
Yes, it does.
Oh yes, it's very scary.
Yep.
Echo's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go on ahead while you guys do this ghosty thing.
I'm gonna go with
Alternatively, I could not do that.
Well, I mean, we have no other way to know.
Or if it just shows up, I could just compel it once it shows up.
That's true.
Do ghosts talk to each other?
Sure, why not?
Okay, can I flash back? I want to go visit Salia, my ghostly information broker.
Okay.
And I want to say, Salia, you unpleasant person ghost thing. You know I want to come to visit
piece
you.
Of decaying flesh.
You know I would not come to visit you if it were not important. I have more information on this party member I have been working with. You know I promised to tell you all about them last time. They were at this party bar, and I relay her this whole spiel.
Walks in darkness stuff. Okay.
Yes.
She seems interested.
I want to know, describe what I'm interested in of Lord Skurlock's, and I want to know if she knows, like, I'm trying to get her to tell me where it is by some of her information. Maybe she has other ghosts that know.
Where the items are?
Like, general location, like, even of the house. Like, oh, he keeps most things in this section of the house.
Oh,
or like, what ghosts are, like, what's the
like, oh yeah, Fred lives there.
Yeah, I think that's easy enough. Roll a fate die.
Are you sure you don't mean consort?
Fate die does not have consequences.
Oh, that's true. Good.
Too bad they've been really bad. All right, so she says, Lord Skurlock has an oddly advanced set of defenses against my, what did we call it? WWG? Or Worldwide Ghost? WWGN, Worldwide Ghost Network?
I forgot.
And so she says, unfortunately, I am loath to admit that I know less about him than I would like. However, he is a despicable man who forces some of the lesser spirits to obey him. As far as where certain artifacts might be held, I have heard that he's both sort of a lower and an upper level. The lower level seems to be where he keeps certain more arcane things, and the upper level is more of a gallery of some sorts, which houses the more mundane. But otherwise, unfortunately, we have little to offer you.
Is this crown mundane? Did they tell us it has like some power?
As far as you can tell, the hive seemed to think it was mundane.
Okay, and it was probably worth a lot. So that'd be something to put in a gallery. So that might be upstairs. We can go up there first and look for it, or we can go down to the arcane things and grab this amulet.
Well, let's deal with this ghost first. So the spirit is attempting to manifest. Yes, you can try to compel it if you'd like. Sylph. 1 second for Sylph.
I lost roll 20 because I was trying to put that on the stream.
Lord Scorelock. You scored on that lock, that's for sure. Broke right through it. We're in 6 towers, actually.
Okay, attuned to the... What's my position?
What does a Spirit Bane charm do exactly?
Spirit Bane generally protects you from rogue spirits.
Yep.
And stuff.
Okay.
It does not seem to make you immune to ghost terrifying capabilities, though.
Just makes you more anathema, but not 100% anathema.
It means they're less likely to affect you,
Yes.
personally. Also, I think, doesn't Duchess specifically not believe in them?
Yes.
Okay, position and effect.
I think you are
Make me desperate, Sean. Come on.
risky limited.
Give it to me. I'm swapping.
You're swapping. How are you making it more desperate?
I mean, this ghost is... I'm competing against whoever else is summoning this ghost.
Okay, yeah, you're going to try and sort of sever it from its
Yes.
original compulsion.
Yes.
Sarah, you're muted.
And I was going to say her mental energy was being, potentially distracted by this whole soul render situation.
So, desperate standard plus 1 dice. Go! Ha ha ha! 6.
All
I'm telling you,
right.
yelling at the dice really helps.
Daredevil really helps too.
Yeah, what is that skill?
So when you roll a desperate action, you get plus 1d to your roll if you also take minus 1d to any resistance rolls against consequences from that action.
Oh, so it makes you more vulnerable to...
Yep. If it's perfectly with reckless, though, I love it.
Who has that?
Lurk.
Okay. All right. So, you feel the energy sort of pulling the spirit forth, and it seems to be that some sort of ritual or connection with the house itself is what's doing it. And you rather easily sort of just sever that connection so that you are the one, in fact, bringing it forth. I will now require both of your allies to make resistance rolls against a ghost that just appeared. Or else you are going to be supernaturally terrified while it exists.
What do we roll to do that?
Resolve.
Yeah, it's resolve.
I think
mental strain or willpower.
Yep. Yeah, it's resolve.
All right.
Does a spirit bane charm give you a bonus die? I don't carry one. Never mind. Oh my god.
Free stress. Well, I mean, you don't have to resist. You could just be terrified until the ghost gets
Yes. It's going to go
Big
away
money!
promptly, so...
Let's do it!
Oh, wow. Good job.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, both of you resist. Duchess, you are a little more strained by this ordeal and maybe have to take a fortifying shot of whiskey real fast to maintain your nerves. Meanwhile, Echo was, after being after that whole goat incident, this spirit has developed a bit more of a resistance to their effects and is prepared for what is about to happen. And Sylph, you sort of pulling on the ether and the ghost field, you complete the rest of this ritual to bring forth the spirit. And before you stands a gaunt-looking woman in a tattered ball gown who stares at you silently, awaiting her command. What will you tell her to do? This is when you need to be very litigious.
Bring us a shrubbery. She could scare all the guards.
Well,
or
but
she could just
I
lead
feel
us
like
to the place.
No, that's bad too. I feel like it should just be do not interfere with us or our plans. Bam.
Or point us in the direction of an artifact.
But if she does that, then she's free and she's complied.
We only get one wish, essentially.
Do you have a little bottle you can stick her in?
No. I mean, I guess I could take arcane implements and stick her in a bottle, but I don't think I want her in a bottle.
Yes, I think you can make her dispel, or she can also dispel any other arcane. We don't know she's the only ghost.
Yeah.
So it could be like, leave and take all the ghosts with you. I don't know.
Go throw a party elsewhere.
Go throw a ghost party. Do I feel like somebody else was summoning her?
You feel like there was something in the house, like the house.
The house
It was like a
Security.
defensive mechanism. There was some sort of ritual set to summon the ghost that you somehow tricked.
But what about, like... I think just leave us alone is fine.
Okay, just leave you alone? Is that your final answer? Otherwise, I'm going to force you to move on soon.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
growing restless as she
No,
looks
that's
at you.
good.
Yeah, just be like,
don't
you...
interfere with us or our time here.
She sort of like nods before staring at you, and then phases sort of just up into the upper levels. And yeah, that you got rid of your first ghost. So now you're in the hallway, and you think you either need to get to his sort of upstairs gallery or the downstairs vault, is what we'll call it.
Think in the vault. At least for the obsidian thing. Obsidian star.
Mhm.
Right? You probably
Okay.
don't put a holy relic of power that emits constant shroud of darkness in a gallery. Okay.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool in a gallery, but
You couldn't see it.
might be a little more valuable than that.
Yeah.
Okay, to the vault we go.
To the vault we go.
Okay, how will you get there?
Let's prowl as a team.
Oh, prowl.
Yes.
Okay, so someone needs to lead.
I can lead it.
Okay, you are going to be what are you going to be? Risky limited, because you do not know where you're going at all.
Quick question, Sylph. When you were prowling, were there only blue coats outside, or were they inside too?
I only saw them outside. I don't know that I would know about the inside.
She saw only blue coats outside, and then a different set of
Private guards.
distinguishably different guards on the inside.
Okay.
So blue coats seem to be kind of manning the outside gates and so on, near the front of the property.
That doesn't help me at all. Great.
That is the answer.
Great. Do we want to try prowling all together?
Okay,
Logan's like, yeah.
risky limited. Roll those dice.
Do we want to make it desperate?
Oh.
No.
Okay, what's up? Coming in clutch.
Risky limited.
Keep track of all your riskies.
On,
6.
You can do it, Sarah.
Where all your desks.
That's a no. 2 stress for me.
Okay, 2 stress for self. But you do succeed. So you okay. So the only thing is, it was limited effect.
Yep.
So you do not actually find where to go. You are. Let's see. I think. Okay, I'll give you this. I think it takes a lot longer than you were hoping for. So you are kind of have to go through a significant more area than you were hoping. You don't end up running into anyone. There are some close calls. Sylph kind of has to yank both Echo and Duchess like down hallways and into certain alcoves at the last second to make sure they don't get seen. But you successfully avoid both servants and some of the guards that seem to be walking around. And as you go through these hallways, I mean, it's a stunning mansion in perfect condition. It's got incredibly rare, like, wood paneling, as well as beautiful sort of artifacts and tapestries and paintings just all over the place. But you it's only after you've been searching for quite a while that you finally come upon a sort of an unusual sort of passageway, and kind of peering into it, you see that it turns into sort of a stone-cut hallway that descends down into the darkness. And you can see a bit of an eerie glow at the other end.
Wouldn't Sylph, this is a relic, like, for he who walks in darkness. Do you feel like you could attune, like, feel?
That's a great idea. Let me do that.
Relic itself?
Can I attune to see if I can feel the pull of he who walks in darkness?
Yeah.
Because he wants this relic back too.
He does, yes. You'll be risky standard.
Risky standard. 4.
All right. So you feel sort of he who walks in darkness has been embodying you lately, and so you can almost feel like a sort of inborn compass pulling you which way to go, and it is definitely leading you down this corridor now, and you can sense that you're getting closer.
Okay.
As that happens, you... Let's see. I want you to start the clock. 4 o'clock.
Okay.
It says, Lord Skurlock returns.
Oh, gee.
You will take nothing on it right now.
If you resist this, then he can't even make that a real clock.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not gonna do that. Gotta keep it interesting.
You can kind of, while you're attuning to he who walks in darkness, you kind of feel sort of this urgency increase, and you're like, I need to move quicker. Something's gonna happen. All right, and so you make it down kind of this stone-cut hallway, and as you get to the very bottom, you are once again greeted by a innocuous enough door behind which there's kind of a lightly sort of a glowing light emanating from the cracks. Would you like to just enter?
Yes.
Hey, it's
ooh boo, we're just gonna enter.
Not locked. And
what is this man doing?
Opening up, you sort of you enter into what is a long hallway. On a long hallway sort of lined with various effigies and paintings that correspond to the effigies. So each one is sort of has its like a pedestal that it's on, and then it seems to correspond to the different paintings. And then at the end of the corridor, beyond that, you see what is actually you see nothing.
Yeah.
There's a flat stone wall, but you can feel that he who walks in darkness is pulling you deeper into the room, towards that wall.
Yeah, I'll go towards that wall.
Okay. You keep going, and as far as you can tell, it is just a completely featureless wall.
I touch it!
And there's just, you touch it and nothing happens.
He who walks in darkness compels you!
All you can see is there's all these paintings, and then a variety of effigies. There is one to he who walks in darkness as well.
Oh. It
seems to be, from your limited knowledge, they correspond to a variety of forgotten gods, as well as sort of demonic entities.
Perfect. feel
Hell.
up this wall. Look for
Okay.
hidden levers or
Mechanisms.
buttons.
Are you gonna
or-
study the wall?
Sure.
Someone's gotta roll something.
Somebody else can study the wall.
I'll study the wall.
You make it a group action.
It's
I
dark.
can help. Can I help by like holding up a lantern or something?
Yeah, would you like to assist?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to pay stress.
It's
That's
a
fine.
heavy lantern.
It's a stressful lantern.
How much
She's
stress? One.
trying to reveal every nook and cranny from you. You take 1 stress.
What is
Okay.
my position and effect?
Your position is going to be just. It's going to be risky limited.
I'll trade position for effect. What is
Desperate stand.
the aid give me?
+1
Plus
Assist.
1 dice.
+1 dice. Okay.
Are you making this more dice?
I'm gonna take my time and be very thorough.
We're going slow. Okay.
Desperate standard. Yes, that's fine. And a bonus die. 6.
Nice.
6. All right. So,
That lantern.
you study this wall, and you can tell that it's another sort of hidden mechanism like the one that you followed someone through. It is like there's just the slightest hint of a recess within sort of the mortar and the stoneworking that you can see will somehow affect it. You are able to tell that it's got to be connected to something in this room, or there has to be some way to interface with it. It's just the interface is not directly on that sort of on that wall. So you're muted. I have no idea what you're saying.
Can I extend the scope of this study to like the paintings and like this whole? Instead of studying this wall, can I have studied this mechanism?
Yes. I will say you're pretty sure that the effigies are somehow a mechanism to open the wall, but you do not know what or how.
Well, it's a mechanism in these effigies. Aren't you familiar with these effigies?
One of them.
Maybe it's
You have
that
a
one.
general knowledge of the others, but yeah, you don't know the specific.
I went to the
practices.
career fair and I chose Who Walks in Darkness.
I mean, the other two have probably know of them as well. You might not recognize the effigies, but I mean, the Forgotten Gods aren't completely unknown to everyone.
Well, if we're trying to get something from He Who Walks in Darkness, it's probably maybe it's just a filing cabinet, and you have to put the effigy for He Who Walks in Darkness here.
Maybe that would be cool.
I'm actually a arcane
Echo's like
designer in my
demolition
spare
tools
time.
can be a thing that we have.
That is
I have
also
wreck.
true.
I have wreck on retainer, so
All right.
So we
So
try this first, and then
y'all could try and do
Can I
something.
try
with the
to
effigies.
tinker just to find like where the mechanism is and goes? I don't. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to tinker?
Yeah.
I think you are controlled, limited.
Okay. I'll take it. You know, I'll just whatever. I don't know about these wires.
Okay, you can try again using something else, or you can press on for risky by doing it risky.
don't worry. I learned a thing or two when I was in the
Risky.
clinker.
Did
I'm
you?
gonna pull a sledgehammer out from under my skirt.
No, let's not.
You have any better ideas?
I think destruction of property
Flashback,
seems like
maybe,
a bad
or
idea.
something.
Put it back under.
It's a heavy skirt. They're in connections.
All right. I have an idea. So, we're gonna flashback. And I'm going to resume my identity of the French woman who went to the auction and made friends with the woman there who was hosting it. And I will say that I am in town from the Imperial City and I so wanted to catch up with her. And while I did that, I just happened to hear about this very impressive man named Lord Skurlock, and I just want to know a little bit more about him. And I think I pressed her for information about like him, his collection. Has she been there and seen things? Has she like who he goes through to like acquire items, that kind of like, does he have like a personal servant or like buyer essentially?
Okay, yeah. So you talk with her, and can you roll a consort or sway or something?
Can I flashback to assist her as well? And just like she's talking to the servant, and I'll have like pulled little strings and like had other servants talking about this like really influential woman who Lord Skurlock had taken an interest in, being her, to like set the stage.
Okay, to assist.
Yeah.
To like make it seem like it's okay for me to have this information.
To be asking these questions. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What would you like to roll?
I think technically it's more of a consort than a sway. How much?
It is. I mean, do you have some sort of leverage for the sway?
But of course, I have a wonderful items that I want to, to sell to him, and for her to give me this information of, I would include her in my future sales, and maybe this just something very special that she's always wanted that I know how to get from the Imperial City.
Okay, so sway.
Because of course I want to keep her as my friend. And I'm in disguise.
You are in disguise.
And I have help.
You do have help, yeah.
And
so many dice.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter if it's consort or sway, not really. I forgot. So I have 1d for help, 1d for disguise.
Yep.
What's my setting, position, and effect?
Risk. Yeah, controlled standard.
So yeah, we want to switch that. Can we switch that for greater effect? And I will make it more desperate because I'm like, I gotta know like on a quick timeline.
Yeah, really try and get the details from her.
Yeah,
probe her.
I'm like,
you were grilling her.
Unusually detailed in the questions that I ask of her.
Okay, sure. So you're now risky greater.
With 5 dice.
Risky, great. Submit. Okay, bonus dice is 2. Come on, French accent! We can do it!
Oh, great!
Okay. So,
I'm a little disappointed you only rolled 2 6s.
So,
I'm so sorry. I'll work on it next time. What was her name?
I think it was No, it was
Lorette
Lamond.
Oh yes, Lorette Lamond.
Lady Lorette Lamond is very excited to see you, and she tells all So she says that since it's not an active auction, yeah, she is just gossiping up a storm, which is fun. And she says that Lord Skurlock has an interest in all sorts of kind of enigmatic and arcane items. He's recently acquired quite a few items related to the Lady of Thorns and that which hungers. She says they're silly.
These are terrifying names.
Forgotten. She kind of whispers that those disgusting culty forgotten god things. But he always pays premium price. And no one has really brought him to task for it, unfortunately. It's not to my taste. But those are probably his most recent acquisitions. But that's pretty much the most interesting thing you get out of her. Is that those two have been the focus. Coming back to the present, you do see that there are 2 effigies. Actually, everyone roll a fate die.
Side note, how much stress did that cost me? 1 or 2?
I think it costs you just 1 stress.
Oh my god. All of our fate die have just been like 1 or lower.
Horrible.
I refuse to believe that. I'm gonna do great. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Let's go.
Hey!
Oh my god. So don't even look at it.
Wow. That's really funny. You're banned. I'm gonna start rolling your rolls for you. Okay. So, she also shows you some of the artifacts he had been interested in the future, and you have a general understanding of what the Lady of Thorns and that which hungers sort of what their effigies tend to look like. And it doesn't take long before you spot them in the room. And seeing that they somehow be related to the mechanism, you go over to them and are able to sort of, they're almost like levers. You like cock each one at an angle, and then the stone starts to make a grating sound and opens up into a secret room, which you can see is lit with electric lights. And in 4 corners, it has a hull in each one, as well as a long array of artifacts that are in glass cases.
Do we see the darkness one?
Yeah, do we see a shroud of darkness emanating from any of one of those black cases?
There's a lot happening. I don't think you see it right away. Each one of them is kind of...
I will pull out my EMP.
Yeah, I was going to flash back and acquire an asset.
All right.
I do have an EMP.
Oh.
Do you have an EMP?
Yes.
Yeah, we never used it.
We never
from,
used it.
Grandma Heist.
Alphonse made it for me. It's tier 3.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. You go ahead. I thought I was going to have to procure one, but we already got one.
Sean's like, okay.
All right, so let's call it there for tonight.
Oh.
They'll pick up Lord Skurlock in 2 weeks. We've gone for like 3
it's
late. So it's time to
This is so fun though, Sean.
Well, I'm glad it's fun. Y'all roll another 6. I'm just gonna quit.
It's not us. It's Sarah.
It's
Sarah
Sarah.
I rolled 4 or 5 fortune rolls, and they were all 1.
Yeah, Logan, your rolls have not been ideal.
I
I'll just have
haven't
you roll
that
for
much.
Sarah.
If you average Sarah and I, it's a real probability, like what it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hard knock life, Sean.
yeah, And we don't have to do downtime or experience because, well,
we do have to do experience.
I guess we do have to do experience because that's session to session.
Yeah, and I filled up my resolve bar, so I need to apply that to a thing.
All right, let's look at the. All right, y'all have all kept track of your desperate rolls.
Yeah.
Playbook specific XP triggers. I think everybody gets 1. Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I better get 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abby gets 2 from
She
that.
said her goodbyes to people. She went to her lord.
I cannot explain how much I hate ghosts.
It hasn't really.
Belief, drive,
You haven't
and
been
heritage.
fighting it though. There's been no conflict.
She took
Okay, I'll
6
give you this.
shots of whiskey.
I took 6 shots of whiskey before I even spoke to a pile of pillows. And
PP.
part of my background is like, I don't know, with Salia and like this whole web that they have, and now like reporting on what's
Okay, I'll give you 1 then.
Do I get 1 for you resuming my old identity as a French person? That's the only thing that I can think of that I did that something. Besides mana contour, which I do on a regular basis.
Is one of your drives just to trick people all the time?
No, I don't think that counts.
Darn.
Struggled with issues from vice or trauma. I don't think any of that. Okay, crew advancement. Crew XP trigger. You haven't finished an operation, so. Contend with challenges above your station.
Yes.
Yes. Bolster your reputation. Not really. Express goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
That inner conflict.
We set ourselves up to maybe have a crew gang of toughs.
Yeah, we did that. Duchess reported on me to her ghost lady, which is an inner conflict. And then also we pulled the hive in on this, which I think is one of our major goals.
That is the essential nature of the crew.
Yes.
You are working for the hive. Okay, I'll give you 1 for that.
Are you sure you don't want to give us 2?
Yeah.
Please 2.
No.
Please 2.
Y'all are doing amazing.
No, Sarah's doing amazing. We need this. We need this to help Abby and I.
I've enacted 1 consequence this entire.
It's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Part of the heist, which you immediately stomped on with your command ability. All right. So that ties up that.
Maybe we should play Blades next week also.
Blades.
Let's give it a rest. Let's let it sit. Let's let
no.
Sean decompress. Sean needs a week off.
Sean needs to, what is it called?
Sean needs to concoct more evil plans.
Sean needs to indulge his vice.
Sean does need to indulge his vice.
Sean does need to indulge his vice.
And not be responsible for running a game.
Just be 25% responsible.
Yes, only 25% responsible, and I guess I'm not mostly dead anymore. I'm just
you're
slightly
fine.
weakened.
Yeah, you're not mostly dead. We sent you to Miracle Max. You're much better now.
I am much better. But yeah, we'll be back next week, probably with Iron